Hey, Keith Guidry with Percy Guidry's. Welcome to today's show. Today we're going to be cooking with Jake Delhomme, the former UL Raging Cajun star, Saints star, Panthers star, Cleveland Browns star, and I think he even did a little stint with the Houston Texans. And he's going to be cooking for y'all his famous baby back ribs on a gas grill. Now, when I asked Jake what you want to cook on, he said a gas grill. I was like, a gas grill with baby back ribs? He says it's going to be phenomenal. So we're going to see. So stick around. We're going to talk to Jake, and we're going to learn how he grills his baby back ribs on an AOG gas grill. Stick around. I think you're going to like this. Welcome back to the show. Keith Guidry here, and like promised, I'm here with Jake Delhomme. Jake, okay, I followed you when you played for the Raging Cajuns. I followed you when you were in the practice squad with the Saints. You went to you went to NFL Europe. Then you came back to the Panthers, and then you played a little bit with Cleveland, and then you played a little bit with the Texans. Man, what was it like being an NFL footballer?
It was fantastic. You know, it was everything I dreamed of. You know, my dream was to play 1 year in the NFL, and each year that I would kind of sign up and renew that dream again. You know, and I just added up a bunch of years, and when I was done, I had 15 of them. But it was an absolute dream, and I loved every minute of it.
But you never gave up. I mean, a lot of people who like me, who followed you, kept saying, you know, man, he could have just easily just said, you know, I gotta go back home. I gotta get a real job.
Right.
But you never gave up, and you ended up at the pinnacle of what every quarterback would want to be.
You know what? It was, I was raised that way. You know, to work hard at everything that we do. I knew the good Lord gave me an ability to throw a football, but also, and I think deep down inside, you know, I'm a Cajun. You're a Cajun. We're prideful and we're persistent and we're passionate.
Right.
So, I mean, that kind of, you know, I think we're all that way, and I'm just going to try to work as hard as I could to make it, and things worked out.
Well, I tell you what, anybody who knows your story is proud to know that you're from Acadiana, because you represented our area really, really well, and you still do. Like, I mean, president of the Louisiana Thoroughbred Breeders Association?
Yeah, it's it's race horses in my family, and that's something that is a very deep-rooted in the Cajun country, and that's something I've always done. I got elected president. Hopefully I can do a somewhat decent job. So, you know, that's another thing on my plate, but I love it. I'm used to kind of being busy, but it makes life go by pretty good, and I enjoy that.
Well, I tell you what, there's so many things that you do, and I hear that Grillin is right up there with all of that, and we're going to find out here in a second. And so we're going to talk more about, you know, what you're doing now and everything, but let's cut this off and let's get to the grill. So stick around. We're with Jake Delhomme. We're going to be grilling some baby back ribs on a gas grill, and a little mushrooms on the side, a little asparagus on the side, and we're going to share that with you, and I think you're going to like it, so stick around. Welcome back. We're at the grill shop right here at Percy Guidry's, and we're standing here with Jake Delhomme. He's going to be doing his baby back ribs, his famous baby back ribs on an AOG, which is like the little brother to Fire Magic. He has a Fire Magic, but we're going to cook it on an AOG grill. So, Jake, we got this baby back rib rack. It's beautiful. It's got a nice little fat. Tell me how you go about preparing the meat.
Well, it depends on who's at the house, or do we have kids over, or is it more adults? And
we'll go too spicy.
Exactly. And this is something we do in North Carolina a great deal. You know, we always have the kids over with the families, and we'd introduce them to our Louisiana way and our hospitality.
Right.
And that became very popular. So, you know, this one I'm going to season as if we just have families.
Yeah.
So
we're family.
We're family. So this is how we're going to do it. And I will use different seasonings that I've tried. Certainly living up in the Carolinas, everybody had their own rub. But today we're going to use the butt rub.
Butt rub. Bad Byron's.
Bad Byron's. And I think the quote says it all. Yeah. And I think you know it by heart.
Yeah, I think we can say it. It's a G-rate. A little butt rub makes everything better.
I don't think there's any doubt.
No.
It does. It does. All right.
So I see we got some mustard.
So we got mustard. So I'm gonna season one side. I'm gonna put my mustard. I'm gonna tenderize it with the mustard.
All right.
We're gonna flip it over. I'll do the other side.
Put like a little layer.
I like a lot of mustard.
That's
perfect, right? Okay. I say a lot, and then we're gonna season it. And
now when you're doing ribs, you got a bone in there, and then you got a little bit of meat between each rib. Do you normally take that into consideration compared to, say, like if you were doing a brisket where you might put a lot of rub, whereas on a rack you just might put a little bit of rub just for flavor?
I don't do a great deal. You know, I don't want to overpower it because it's a baby back rib.
Right. There's not a lot of meat.
It's gonna So and then I'm gonna rub it on in. I like to rub it on in, really tenderize it.
Man, you're my kind of man. Look at that.
And usually, you know, when I play football, I constantly lick my hands in between plays and all the time.
I noticed that.
Yeah, but I try not to do it when I'm grilling or seasoning. So that's
especially with chicken.
No, exactly. So I try not to do it.
Where's Jake? He's in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
He's not feeling too good. So we're putting more mustard.
Right.
All right.
And then
a little bit more butter rub.
A little more butter rub. And I've kind of found if I've accidentally put a little too much mustard, I haven't found it's caused a problem whatsoever.
You know, we had a cooking class with this guy by the name of Chris Marks. He's a champion. He's 8-time grand champion of the Kansas City Invitational, and it blew my mind. That's the first time I've seen somebody. He does it on his Boston butt. He puts mustard on his brisket, and he does it on his ribs. And he says something about the mustard and the vinegar, how it creates like a caramelization, but you don't taste it. You don't really taste mustard when you're eating it.
No, and
but it definitely adds to the flavor.
There's no doubt. And one thing I like to do, and I think it was probably due to a mistake that I made. I like to double wrap my ribs.
Wrap it up tight once.
Type once.
And I'm gonna grab this and lift it up so you can put another one down.
Right.
We'll put it back on top.
I like to double wrap because I had an accident one time. I think it was my fault.
Through.
Yeah, poke through
Dry
and
out.
wasn't paying attention, and you know.
Yeah, you don't want it to dry out.
Right.
And if you have a little bitty pin prick, it's gonna dry out.
Exactly. So I like to double wrap it.
Okay. So we do this. The grill's been lit. We got it at about 300 degrees, which is a good baking temperature.
Correct.
It's kind of like, I tell people, your grill is like your oven. You can either slow cook, which is like 225 to 250. You can bake or barbecue, which is barbecuing, and that's like 300 to 350. And then you can grill or broil in your house. So you get variations in temperature. We got the outside burners lit on low. We're gonna probably put that on the bottom.
I like to put it kind of right in the middle.
Right. Now we're gonna close this. And how long we're gonna let this go?
I'm gonna let it go for 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna open it up. And I want to take a look at it. I want to see how much the meat is pulled away from the bone.
Right. You were looking for like about what?
I like to look about a half. It depends, half inch, and I'll kind of regulate my temperature after that. See what it is, regulate it, and then I'll probably put a basting sauce once I open it up after 45 minutes.
Start putting some sauce on it.
Start putting some sauce on it, and then I'll kind of go from there, and I'll probably end up going to about an hour and 15 minutes. It all depends.
Right. Now we got that, and we're going to do that in the next segment. But we also got some asparagus and some button mushrooms, and we're also going to be putting that on the grill. So we're going to have a little bit of healthy and a little bit of maybe not so healthy, but that's okay.
Well, that's all right. I mean, you have to mix the good, the good with the good
pas
for
bon,
you. How about that?
The bon and pas bon.
There you go.
Well, okay. Well, let's cut this segment. We're gonna stay tuned. We're gonna check on the ribs next, and we're gonna be putting the vegetables on the grill. And I think you're gonna enjoy. I've been enjoying talking to Jake, and I can't wait to ask him a few more questions. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Again, we're with Jake Delhomme. He's cooking his famous baby back ribs, and we're gonna have some asparagus and some button mushrooms. But Jake, last segment, you put the ribs on the grill.
Right.
And you put it on the bottom rack.
Yes.
Okay, I like using my warming rack. What, you put them on to get like a little crust? To get
you know what,
flavor?
I like when I double wrap it with the foil.
You ain't worried about it drying out.
I'm more for the protection, and I like to have a medium fire, and I like to put them on the bottom.
Right.
And when I do check them again at 45 minutes, when I open it up, and that's when I can really adjust the fire or move them to the top. Okay. But for me, that's what I found has worked more than anything else. So that's something it's something that I've always kind of done, and
Okay, so we're gonna at 45 minutes, you would move it up to the warming rack.
I'll open up and check. I'm open up to see how much, and then I'll kind of deviate from there.
Yeah, and that's going to leave us a bunch of room to put this platter, which we're going to be doing the vegetables on.
Exactly right, and that's going to be the perfect time. And by the time those will be finished, the ribs will be finished, and it'll be hot and
let's
ready
go
to eat.
prep. Let's go prep the asparagus.
All right.
That's some beautiful asparagus. Now you normally cut the little ends off.
I cut the ends off. You can do. I can do without, but you know.
You know, my dog likes this part of the asparagus.
He does.
Yeah, but when he goes to the bathroom, it smells sometimes. You know.
You're a comedian also, along with being a cooking guru.
No. My wife thinks I'm funny. I don't know.
You know, we cut, and you can do it without cutting the asparagus, or you can just kind of break them with your hand. But you know, we have a beautiful knife, and it's sharp, and you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
And the button mushrooms, you're gonna leave them whole, or you're gonna slice them up?
You can either do it either way. I like to leave them whole sometimes, but also we can change it up, and we can use the portobello mushrooms also. With we can chop up, slice up some bell peppers, and and make it very colorful. We can do the yellow, the red, and.
Okay, now so you got the vegetables. Right. You got olive oil up here.
What I like to do.
Okay.
Big fan of olive oil. Love to drizzle them with olive oil.
I put them on my lips. Keeps my lips soft.
That's great. You can, a Cajun way. Find a way to do something, right? Yeah. Cajun ingenuity. Yeah. And then also, this is one I know I brought up North Carolina a few times.
You did.
Cavender's, all Greek purpose seasoning. From a friend of mine, an older guy in Charlotte, talked about Cavender's one day. He wanted to do some chicken at the house, and it was fantastic.
And I tasted some, and it has like a little minty flavor, which I think is very key in Greek cooking.
It was different, and it's something that we enjoyed.
Right.
And so I like to incorporate it, and I also, if I want to. I guess get crazy, so to speak. You might take a little cayenne pepper and sprinkle a little cayenne pepper on top.
Crazy
also.
sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I like to be pretty liberal with the olive oil. I don't think
you can't put too much olive oil. Now you got virgin, you got extra virgin, you got first press, second press. I mean, I don't understand all that stuff. I just buy the darker ones.
I like the extra virgin olive oil, and I like to use it on everything. You can kind of use it on everything, but and I'm gonna season it. I'm gonna season it pretty good.
Carrie likes the way you cook. I mean,
she likes the way I cook. I will say that.
Does she grill too?
She might be better than me. I don't say that. I don't say it that loud. I don't want her to hear it. Hopefully this doesn't get out to her.
Well,
but
I got your back, bro.
Yeah, perfect. No, but I will say this: she is a phenomenal cook, and living away as we have.
She's Cajun.
For so many years, our house kind of became like a kitchen. I will say that. We would feed many people, and they kept on wanting to come back. So
your other players would come with you?
They'd come back a great deal. Yeah. A great deal. Yeah. And the more the merrier. We loved it. Yeah. We loved it. So
that's some beautiful looking asparagus. Now we're going to take this. We're going to move the ribs up on the warming rack.
Correct.
And then we're going to put this on there. And this doesn't take that long to cook.
It doesn't take that long. And honestly, it all depends on what your preference is. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take long to cook the mushrooms or the asparagus.
Some people like a lot of texture to their asparagus.
I like to really almost wilt them. I love to really kind of cook them down and make them really, really soft. And even if sometimes, we put them on that, even if we get a little char on them.
You gotta have that char, baby.
There's something about it. So that's something that...
well, I'm gonna open this up. I'll move this up to the top. And see, the cool thing about aluminum foil is that it cools off real fast. You knew that?
I did know that.
Yeah. So you don't need gloves, but you want to be careful. You don't get crazy. Now the vegetables we're going to put on this platter, right?
Correct.
So we're going to put this platter right here, which is an aftermarket product. You can put a cast iron pot on a grill, which I think you said you use a lot of pots and pans. Right. That's right up my alley. This is specially made for grills, so we're going to take this, and we're just going to spread that onto this grill, and just kind of let them just start grilling up.
Let them start doing their thing.
Right.
And I will flip them and move them and kind of...
Just take tongs and kind of screw them around.
I will move them around. I will flip them. And I love a good chore. I will say that.
All right.
To get on them.
Love them mushrooms. Man, my wife loves mushrooms. My kids love mushrooms. You kids like mushrooms?
My kids will demolish them. So
Don't like them on my pizza, but I love them on grill food. All right, so we got that on. We're going to come back and check your ribs. We're going to check your vegetables. So Hope you're enjoying this. I'm having the time of my life. I feel like I'm like a little kid because I'm with Jake Delhomme. We're grilling. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back. We're here with Jake Delhomme. Got the baby backs on. We got the veggies on, button mushrooms. We got some beautiful asparagus. And I can smell the love coming off of that grill. You smell that, Jake?
That's a good, the love. I love
Oh, no, it's
that.
all, my dad was all, he said, man, Mr. Ray, how come you cook so good? He said, you gotta love the food, baby.
That's exactly right. I know I love to eat it, that's for sure.
Okay, well, I wanted to briefly talk about this. There's a lot of products out there. What this is, it's a pre-made little container with applewood shavings. You can get cherry wood, mesquite, hickory. And what's great about it, when you pull this out when you have a gas grill, you're really not gonna get a whole lot of smoky flavor. If you really want some smoky flavor, these are great. You just peel them off. We have one in there we put while we're off camera. You'll see it in a second. But Jake, let's go over there and take a look at them ribs.
Let's go check it out. So we, as you can see, we're getting the little applewood smoke flavor, which I will say gives a really nice kind of topping, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah.
Just adds a little something to it.
It's a layer of flavor.
Right.
The seasoning, the rub, the sauces, and then the smoke. It's like we're building a flavor palette.
Well, I tell you what, it's my flavor palette's on. I'm reaching my level right now. But
Okay.
no, we as we said earlier, after 45 minutes, we'll check the ribs. Well, we did that. It's a little warm, obviously. So the ribs, as you can see,
Ooh, look at that.
they kind of look pretty good. And you can see how the meat is pulled away, about a ½ inch.
And I'm feeling in between the bone. It's pretty tender, Jake.
And so we did baste it once. We're gonna baste it one more time. And so we're a little past an hour right now. And we're just gonna lightly kind of baste the top. I'm not gonna do the bottom side. We're just gonna baste the top.
And that's another thing, talking about the sauces. And I know right now we're using Russell's. It's a local guy. Love the guy, love his story. Great rib sauce, but man, we're blessed to live in a part of the country or the world where people ask me all the time, where do you get your meat? I say, wherever's closest to my house or wherever I'm closest to at that point. Same thing with sauces. I mean, we got some pretty noteworthy people. We got Uncle's, locally made. Jack Miller's, of course. You know, and I'm sure I'm gonna offend somebody by not mentioning, but there's a lot of good sauces and rubs out there.
And I'm gonna put my double wrap back on because, like I said earlier, I made one mistake one time and I was a little paranoid. But the ribs are pretty much done. That's why we moved them up on top. Okay. And we have our hot plate, I guess you could say. And my mushrooms are just about done. The mushrooms are just about done. We still got a little bit left with the asparagus. Certainly they're cooked. And I know Keith likes them with a little more crunch.
A little bit texture, but that's good.
I like to really get them wilted. So as you can see, it's we're ready to go. It's almost game time.
Okay,
it's almost game time.
So we were talking off camera about our kids and how fortunate we were that they liked healthy food.
Right.
And you were telling me that your kids really dig veggies. I mean,
they do.
Besides asparagus and mushrooms, I mean, what other kind of fun veggies? I mean, do y'all do zucchini and squash?
We do squash and zucchini a great deal. That's one thing that we do a great deal of that, squash and zucchini. We do the broccolis, and we're very lucky.
They like steaks too, though? Steaks. Like
they're like mom and dad. They kind of like a little bit. They like everything. We don't discriminate at our house. But you see, this to me, this is ideal for my asparagus. I love to have just that
little bit of caramelization on it.
Just that hint, and it's about time to come off and get ready to eat my mushrooms.
Okay.
They're
looking good. Now we're going to be putting this recipe of yours on our website, so people, when they want to see precisely, I want to cook my ribs like Jake Delhomme, they'll be able to go on our website and check it out. You don't have a problem with that, right?
I don't have a problem whatsoever.
Not an ancient family secret.
No, I can't say. This is something that was kind of trial by fire because my dad was the old school, the charcoal way, and I kind of learned, using the gas grill.
Because you love to grill.
Because I enjoy grilling. That was something that I enjoyed doing.
And that's the thing about people in southern Louisiana. I go around the country all the time and they look at me and they say, man, you have a passion. I mean, when you start talking about grilling, your hands start flying everywhere. I said, you think I'm bad? I said, you just walk down anybody's backyard in southern Louisiana. Men love to grill. But it's not just a man thing. We were talking about Carrie likes to grill.
Right.
We get a lot of people shopping in the store. Women, I think, love gas grills because it's more like an appliance, even though men like it too. You and me, we're men, you know. And charcoal is kind of more of a manly thing. The women don't mind tending the food on a charcoal grill, but they're not gonna start it, get their hands all, they don't mess with all that. But gas grilling is basically for the whole family.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Do your kids help you out sometimes?
The kids do help out. They help out in the eating portion. I will say that. But no, certainly I have a 10-year-old who she's kind of into the preparation of the food and wants to help and season and things like that. And to me, that's the great thing about it. I'll let her try something. You know, if there's a certain spice that she likes and she enjoys, you try it out. I mean, let's try it. I mean, that's what we're about.
It's like painting a portrait.
That's exactly. Everybody has their own way of doing it.
You got magenta, you got some lavender, you got red and black. You know, you got all these different things. Okay, well, let's go ahead and throw it to break, and then when we come back, we're gonna have the ribs on a plate. We're gonna have the vegetables on a plate, and I get to taste Jake Delhomme's famous baby back ribs. So stick around. All right, welcome back. We got the finished product. I'm telling you, Jake, that is some beautiful looking baby back ribs.
It looks really good, and I know I can't wait to take a bite, and I have a feeling you can't wait to take a bite.
No, this is what it's all about.
All right.
You cook them, I eat them.
So we're gonna cut a couple of them. We'll put them in here.
What?
They kind of, I don't know if I really need my knife.
Yeah, okay. All right, watch this.
Okay,
watch
here
this,
we go.
Jake. Watch this. Ready? Is that how you look?
That's exactly right.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
I didn't sound like, you know, a squealing pig.
No, but you're the man, bro. This is a Jake Delhomme baby back ribs. I feel so honored. Watch this. Look at it. All right. Come off the bone.
It came out all right.
Sausage bone. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right.
Now I know you like a little more firmness.
No, but I like that too.
Okay, I like them a little more wilted. How's that seasoning?
That seasoning is really good, man. I can taste it.
Yes.
I tasted it before we started cooking, and I just tasted it. I can taste it again. Now the button mushroom.
You just so happen to have a fork
You
in
saw
your back
that?
pocket?
Did you see? Man,
I did.
Man, you're pretty observant. Okay, watch that. I'm gonna do two of them. 2 in 1. Oh my God.
Not bad, huh?
Very good.
Not
Jake,
bad.
This is hot. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. The recipe will be on our website. Go to the website and send us any feedback you have, but there'll be more episodes. But Jake, I appreciate you coming, man. I'm a big fan. I'm still a big fan. Now I'm a big fan because you
Well, I'm a fan of you and everything that you guys have, but you know, you've helped me out. I will say I've had good coaches along the way.
Well,
you coached me up a little bit.
That's what barbecue. I mean, I learn from people. I learn from my dad. You learn from your dad.
Correct.
I learn from you. You learn from me. That's what cooking's all about. It's the love. It's the sharing of the information, and I hope you guys got a little bit of information. So join us again next show, and we look forward to seeing you again.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.